So I went outside my backyard, collected a bunch of dry leaves. And as I just sort of cipher through these leaves, you can hear kind of the crunch of them and how much they have kind of dried out. And they're just sort of sitting around on the bottom of the tree, sort of doing nothing aside from just collecting themselves together for me to eventually just come back and clean them up. The one thing that these leaves cannot do is that they cannot regenerate themselves and somehow plant to regain a position on the tree. They fell for a purpose, and that purpose is that they are no longer needed in the capacity and in the state that they were in for a season. And the message to you today is, during this time of the pandemic, as you were going through this season, there were certain things as a result that have dried out that are no longer purposeful for you. But some of us have attempted to try and replant these things that are no longer of use to us. And it is causing us not to really make sense of something that we once knew before. What I would like to admonish you of on today is, don't try and make an effort to regain the purpose of these leaves. Why? Because as seasons come back around, the green leaves will somehow on their own reappear. And just like in the very beginning of the very first video that we did in this Behind the Stained Glass, we talked about this notion of us, how we try and find the light. But it's so important to understand how we are to allow the light to find us. And in this season of growth, in this season of maturity, in this season of trying to figure out where to go from here, just follow the natural course and inclination of what your heart is telling you. Your heart will not deceive you. Your heart will not steer you wrong. So often we listen to the voices of other people. We listen to the trajectory of what everybody else is thinking and saying and going, but you know what is true and what is right for you. So when these leaves have no longer purpose in your life, allow them to just fall and dry and wither. There's a purpose for them on some other end, for no other purpose than to provide jobs for the leaf blowers in the community that will get rid of all these and gather them and then somehow take them away. There is indeed a new season on the horizon for you. The only thing that you have to do is wait and allow that season to just naturally and organically come up. If you try and rush it, it's not going to feel authentic. If you try and push it, it's not going to fit. If you try and manipulate it, it will not be the time, the point, or the purpose that God has intended for you. Will you, along with me, let go of those things that caused the dryness to occur and open yourself to the belief and the possibility of what is on the horizon, something that is powerful and beautiful, something that will evolve that you can't control. But as you sit in that space, just know that it will find you whole, complete, and the person that you are called to be in this season.